Okay, so I'm pretty sure by now everyone in the country that cares about anything heard about what happened in New Mexico. And my biggest concern is that it's not going to stop there. There's a reason why the founding fathers put in the U.S. Constitution. They put it in so we could defend ourselves from a tyrannical government. And not just the only reason, but that is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of us on the right, and I'm on the right, I'm a black male in the United States of America, and I'm on the right. You can call me whatever it is you want to call me. I'm going to stick with, protecting our children. I believe, and we support the men and women in blue. We do. We don't like some of the stuff that's been happening, right, when it comes to the FBI and the DOJ. But this is just me I'm screaming here. I really am. Because I never thought that I would see what took place in New Mexico take place. I never thought in a million years that it would take place. We all have our suspicions that maybe possibly one day that, a tyrannical government would say that you need to turn them all in and you can't defend yourself any longer. And we've all thought about it would happen at some point, but not like right now. Thankfully, the police officers in New Mexico actually stood up to do the right thing. Thankfully, they said no to this unlawful order. And I'm calling out to the FBI, the DOJ, the police departments, and all across the country in the United States of America right now. And I'm asking everyone that's watching right now, could you please, no matter what state, city you live in, can you tag your police department? Because they need to know that we will stand with them when a federal, tyrannical local state government decides to violate the U.S. Constitution, the Constitution that they took the oath to protect and defend. Now, I'm not going to play the video of the governor saying that she doesn't care basically about the Second Amendment, about the First Amendment, the U.S. Constitution. She's saying it's not absolute, right? One thing that is absolute, and I'm pretty sure every single person in law enforcement would agree to this, you have the absolute right to defend and protect yourself. You only have one of these. That's called life. You only get one. You don't get a do-over. You don't get to say, okay, recharge. You don't get any of that. If you are a law-abiding citizen, you have the absolute right to defend yourself and protect yourself. And of course, I never tell people to go out and be violent or any of that. But you should be able to defend yourself. Let me share this with you. And I do have something I want to share with you. And this is what police officers and the FBI and the DOJ, look, we just want y'all to do the right thing. We know we know that you see the corruption taking place. We just want you to do the right thing. Those of us that are on the right, we will stand with you. That's what I don't understand. That's what I can't comprehend, why you would go along with this tyrannical stuff when we will stand with you. You have more of us to stand with you than these tyrants that's getting you to do this stuff. Stop allowing them to hold your pensions over your head. Stop allowing them to do that. Please, everybody, tag any police department. Go ahead and tag the FBI, tag the DOJ. Please tag them in this video because they need to know that the American people out here just want them to do the right thing. We're not caring about their politics. I don't care about that. I don't care about how they feel or who they go home with or what, any of that. We just want them to do the right thing. That's all that we want. So let me play this video for you of the police department, or one of the police departments in New Mexico, talking about this unlawful order. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that the DOJ and the other police departments throughout the country will see this. The FBI will see this and say, you know what? This is a model that we need to do. We need to stop doing this. We need to stop taking our country on this path. Let me share this with you.
Let me be clear. I hold my standards high, and I do not or never will hedge on what is right. take my oath seriously. In reference to concealed carry and open carry, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office will not enforce this segment of the order. While I understand the urgency, the temporary ban challenges the foundations of our Constitution, but most importantly, it is unconstitutional. My oath was to protect the Constitution, and that is what I will do. The governor made it clear in her press conference. She knew we as law enforcement did not agree with the order, and as a result, this was solely her decision. Other than this ban being unconstitutional, here are other reasons why I will not enforce the order. One, what many forget, is I have enough violence here in Bernalillo County. I do not want to have political violence towards my deputies or here in Bernalillo County. My job is to keep the peace and to make sure that the citizens of Bernalillo County are safe, and I do not believe that this order will help me do so. I'm a law enforcement professional. This order will not do anything to curb gun violence other than punish law-abiding citizens from their constitutional right to self-defense. Let me give you a personal story. Last week, as I'm sitting here as the city sheriff, I get a phone call that my brother also was a victim of gun violence last week that many of you do not know. While he and my nephew were sitting in their car, they were shot at and their vehicle was impacted by numerous rounds. How can I, as a sheriff, tell him to put his firearms away and not be able to protect himself? I have a fact for you. Criminals do not follow the law or a public health order. Never seen it, we will never see criminals follow the law. Once again, this only punishes law-abiding citizens. What I also want to address is what we're doing on the gun violence here in Bernalillo County and helping in the state of New Mexico. It is quite irritating for me to see how this 30-day ban completely overshadowed the robust conversations that we had with the governor in the office on what we were going to do to curb gun violence and for people to stop being victims. We had arguments, but again, we had solutions. We had an 11-year-old that was senselessly killed, but there are also many other numerous victims of gun violence, not just here in Bernalillo County, but our nation. A couple of things that I will be asking to do as we get serious. I will take your questions, but let me tell you what we're going to do, because we do need to not overshadow what we need to do to keep our citizens safe. I will be asking the Crime Reduction Director for our agency, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, to lead a task force of various law enforcement agencies to focus on crimes with firearms. I will have continued meetings for early intervention of not only adult, but youth offenders. I am respectfully requesting, as an elected official, to please consider a special session to specifically address crime, not just in Bernalillo County, but for the state of New Mexico. We need to look at solutions to address violent crimes involving juveniles with firearms, adults with firearms, pretrial release, harsh state penalties for violent crimes, which also involve a firearm. Collaboration and planning will and continue with the Mayor of Albuquerque, Tim Keller, Chief of New Mexico State Police, Troy Wiesler, Chief of the Albuquerque Police Department, Harold Medina, and District Attorney, Sam Bregman.
And that's it. That's all I have on it. That's what they should be addressing. The criminals, the crime that's happening from people being stupid. That's what they should be addressing. And that's why I'm doing a call out right now. My main reason why I'm doing a call out to every law enforcement in the country is because we want you to stand with the American people. We want you to stand with the oath that you took. That's all that we're asking. Stop allowing these tyrants to hold your pension over your head. If they're holding your pensions over your head, that is the message that we need to get out to everybody. And you're probably wondering, how does Will Johnson know that these tyrants are holding our pensions overhead, forcing us to do this unlawful stuff to the American people? How does Will Johnson know this? I figured it out. I figured it out by talking to police officers. I would go up to police officers and I would tell them, thank you for your service. And then I was asking them, I asked questions. And they didn't come out directly and say they're holding the pensions. Then all of a sudden, it just dawned on me. And I said, could it be that your pension is being threatened? And right then, you ask any police officer that, especially in California and all these other blue states, that's pushing this tyrannical stuff, that's, not doing like this police officer here. When they're going along with it, they're holding their pensions over their heads. You've got to do something to stop that. You've got to stop that. I hate it, but they're doing that to hope so you will do their bidding. That is not right. That is not the oath that you took. See, if it was up to Will Johnson, I would make it that where every single law enforcement person that signs up, that puts on that uniform every day to go out and deal with stupid people every day. If it was up to Will Johnson, I would make it to when that day you took the oath that no tyrannical government, no tyrannical governor, mayor, what have you, president, doesn't matter, that if they decide to fire you because you would not go with an unlawful order, because I'm guaranteed that she's highly upset with this police officer for not doing it. And I guarantee that she's probably trying to figure out some kind of way to remove him. You know that I'm right. But like I was saying, if it was up to Will Johnson, I would make it to where when you took that oath, that if they decide to fire you, that you would get automatically a 30-year pension. Automatically. If you've been in the force for 3 years and they decided to fire you because you would not go along with an unlawful order and they fire you, you would automatically get a 30-year pension right off the bat in your bank account. I guarantee they will stop with all that immediately because they know they will no longer be able to hold that over your head. I don't know if anyone else has ever brought that up, but that's what needs to take place. That's how you can prevent these tyrants from getting police officers from doing unlawful orders. Please share this video. Share this video. Tag the police department, tag the FBI, tag the DOJ. We just want them to do the right thing. We want them to stop doing this stuff against the American people. Stop doing it to the people that's been supporting you. That's what really hurts. You're doing this to the people that's been supporting you. You've heard nothing but from the right talking about we support the blue, we support law enforcement. You've heard nothing but that from us. You've heard from the left constantly talking about defunding the police, defunding and putting in and changing them out with all of this other stuff. That's what you constantly hear from the left. You constantly hear violence toward the left. You constantly hear F the police from the left. But what do you hear from those on the right? You hear other stuff now because we see that you're going with this unlawful stuff. And I ain't even got to talking about the unlawful stuff that we're seeing what the FBI is doing and the DOJ. Stop doing it. Just do the right thing. You know this is not right. Stop going after the people that's been supporting you. Make that make sense. Make it make sense.